What's happening, everybody? Leo here, and welcome back to another episode of the Diaz Traveling Show. We are now making our way towards the coast along the French Riviera, and this place is fantastic. We stayed in a place called Agay, and let me just tell you right now, there are so many little towns and villages along the water here that it's not even funny. But one of the cool things that we were able to do was we got to see a bunch of our friends, and that was something that we've been hoping to do since we've been planning this trip. Now, back in Canada, we do an annual ski trip with these two families. We also do a bunch of camping with them and a bunch of other activities. So they're really great friends from back home. And we were talking about going on our year-long trip one time, and we joked about how cool it would be if they met up with us somewhere in Europe, since we couldn't make the annual ski trip. Somehow it became serious talk, and closer to the date, boom, tickets were booked, and here we are. Now, the places we've been to have been absolutely stunning, and the experiences we've had have been absolutely amazing. This was such a much needed break, though, to see some of our friends, since we've been pretty much on our own the entire time. And despite our fantastic adventures traveling, it did make us miss some of our familiar activities we do back home. I do have to say, though, it was a pretty full-on experience having all 5 kids under the same roof for a week. But the villa that we rented was perfect for all of us, including the kids and the adults. We had enough space. We had a pool that we used 2 times a day. But even with the pool right at our disposal, we did manage to break away from the house, and we explored several towns along the coast, and the kids loved it. This place is absolutely breathtaking. All 5 of the kids were always ready for a new adventure, no matter what we were doing. And this was such a cool thing to see, as they took everything in stride when we were going out on all our adventures, on all our excursions, and just playing together. Like, they were always hanging out together and having such an awesome time. Now, it really helps that the 2 families that you're hanging out with, especially when you guys are a group of 11, that you guys get along. Because even with people that you do get along with, you know, sometimes you need your break. And I guess at the house, we did have our own separate spaces. But when we got back together, it was just so much fun. And it just reminds you of the great friends that you have. Because when we got together away from the kids, we just had a fantastic time. But we were still also able to kind of get away when we needed to and just have a bit of a relaxing moment. Now, having our friends here, for us, it was really more about just reconnecting with what is important to us from back home. Going and doing the sightseeing, that was a bonus, but being with, these 2 families, it is such a stark reminder of why you need good friends in your life. Now, I wish we could have had all of our good friends and all of our family come visit us here, but we know that that's not possible, but we are so glad that these 2 families were able to come and see us here. Now, for us, traveling is such an eye-opening experience and one that we value highly. But being away from our friends and family, it also confirms for us that there is a need to see the people who are important in our lives whenever possible, because they are the ones that help add joy and happiness to our lives and help create really such meaningful memories. And I'm sure the kids are going to remember this trip for ages to come. So I hope you guys had fun on this trip, and we'll see you soon. So until then, stay tuned and stay safe.